Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to talk about the Lightning Collection needs to be better. I'm pretty much sure that I have recorded this before, but I haven't got it ticked off, but we're going to talk about it. Anyway, let's jump straight into the video. If you like this sort of content and you want to hear and see more, hit that like button, turn on all notifications, check out the merch, and leave a comment because it does help the channel grow, and we want the channel to grow because it would be really nice. Anyway, let's jump straight into the video. So, the Lightning Collection. Everybody, every Power Ranger fan knows about the Lightning Collection. Some people have lived under a rock, but I know that everyone knows about the Lightning Collection and what's been going on. So it's been roughly, at the time of this recording, has been about 3 years. You know, we've had multiple different ones. There's more videos on the Lightning Collection coming out, which I'm making, but mainly right now, it needs to do better. And I've made some points that I kind of really want to talk about that need to be addressed. And one is the quality of the figures. Right now, the figures are either really bad or that they are just shit. Like, I'm not going to say, like, most of them are really bad. I reviewed a lot on here on the channel already where the A Squad Rangers really wound me up to the point where loose figures, the heads haven't been replaced, little things like this that really need to be kind of addressed. And normally in the past, people were saying like, but it's only a $20 or £20 figure and it doesn't matter anymore. And it's like, come on, seriously, like everyone complains. You know, some people are complaining of like the color of a pink ranger and then wanting like a figure and selling it for more. Like, fuck it, we know you are. But the thing is, you're still paying money for a product. You know, where does it kind of fit in to the point where, you know, you can complain? Is it when you spend $100, $1,000, $8,000? You know, someone can say, well, it's only eight grand, isn't it? It's not really that fucking much, is it? You know, you can't really complain. It's one of those things where I think people need to kind of adjust themselves on it. At the end of the day, you're still painting, you're still getting these figures, and if they're inconsistent, then what the fuck? So mainly some of the stuff that I've seen over time has been different paints. So I know that they had for Kimberly or for the Cat 2-pack, you had a black base and then obviously painted on top of it, which then made it like a deep purple, which then people are not okay with. And that's absolutely fine. You can be angry at the figure, and I know some people are contacting Hasbro, and that's fine. I know I contacted Hasbro for the A Squad Ranger. That really kind of annoyed me, and then they sorted it out. Got that review coming soon. They sent me a pudgy pig. I'm very happy with that. But with the inconsistencies, it's either paint, it's either stripes, it's either the, like, say for example, the SBD morphers that aren't exactly the same. It's all up in the air, and I feel like Hasbro need to have a better quality control more than anything, because otherwise it gets to the point where you don't really want to spend money on a line that could be wrong. And if Hasbro come up later on and be like, oh, actually we're gonna fix that, but you're gonna have to spend another $20 if you want that other figure, or hey, it's in a 2-pack, you want that other figure that has the correct stripes and holster and stuff with the correct boots, then you're gonna have to buy the 2-pack with Zunaku, because we're talking about Wild Force, basically Silver, you know, Marek, basically Silver Wild Force. But I think it's that one where you can easily catch these sorts of things and check them in the factory before they go out. Look at the Ninja Rangers, where some didn't even have heads, or the wrong heads, or the doubles of heads. And it really got to me, because when you're spending this much money, those figures weren't cheap either. Like, they were really expensive for what they were. I know that if it were me, I would be like, I'm done. I was very close to, I think, one of my figures, and I was so close to quit. Oh, it was basically, if I got the Ninja Rangers, I would have quit if that came in. I was like, why should I spend money? I'd only buy what I wanted. I wouldn't even bother collecting it, and then that would be the line, like the review line that I'm doing is gone, and I wouldn't care if someone's like, but make more videos on them. I would just completely bash Hasbro for the rest of it and just not buy any of their products, bar only the ones that I want. But anyway, digressing. So as I say, just check the figures over. It's part of the quality control. If you need more people, hire them. Make them go out and check these figures before shipping to retailers, because it's easier to catch it now and go, okay, out of 1,000 figures, we've got 300 that don't have the right heads. And then you can easily get the right heads, reseal the thing, and then send them all out. I just feel like if you're not checking them, why should we pay that sort of money when we're not getting the product that we're paying for. I also kind of think of slowing down would be perfect. From what Josh says at Living Ranger Key, when I think it was like last year in 2021, there was over 40 figures released. That's way too much product, and at the moment, again, there's so much product coming out that it is getting impossible to collect it. Once you start falling behind, that's it. I'm now behind on my figures, but I feel like if they keep announcing new ones, I can't pay for them all, or it gets really annoying. And yeah, fair enough, people can say, well, I've got the money to do it. That's cool. But for most people who don't have the money, that can't afford these straight away, think of it like this. Like, at the end of the day, slow down the figures. You don't need to release 40 in a year, because now, since like COVID has kind of dropped off a little bit more and like people are going back to work, they could say, well, let's turn that 40 figures into 50, 60, 70, 80 figures in a year. And it's just way too much product for the amount of problems that we're getting. So I think slowing down would be a better situation, because it makes things easier rather than just going out there willy-nilly and just releasing all these ranges. And also stop releasing them for like farther in the future, and then they come out like next week. Like, I'm sure I think it's a Wave 11 with Dino Fury and all that it was meant to come out near the end of this year, but obviously it's not. So make a mind up. Don't just go, it's coming out this time and we're shipping it tomorrow. And it's just like, I know people want it, but give time for people saving up, because there's tons that are now missing, which is just absolutely fucking irritating me. But yeah, slow it down. We don't need so much product. I thought Bandai was bad when they hardly released anything. Now I can see what their plan was back then. But again, slow the fuck down. Stop releasing the same figure over and over again. Mighty Morphing has had more releases than any of them. But quite recently, I mean, when I was writing this, it was mainly to the point of you had TJ come out with Zane as Psycho Silver, and then all of a sudden it's like, here's TJ again with the Galaxy Glider. And I know they're just going to re-release all these Space Rangers again, rather than just releasing a simple pack. I think it would be easier that way. But end of the day, I think that, you know, I mean, even Pudgy Pig, when he came out, he came in that lunchbox. And I was like, why do you need him in the lunchbox when you've got the original? You know, it would have been easier to do the lunchbox and then release Pudgy Pig much later on in the year. Because at the end of the day, yeah, just stick it in the warehouse and then ship them at the end. You know, it just doesn't make sense, because people then stop pre-ordering stuff, and then at the end of the day, just like going, oh, I don't need to pre-order this Zane figure if I want TJ alone. I'm just going to get him in the Galaxy Glider set, and that works that way. So I think releasing the same figure so close or completely at the same time isn't a good thing. Just kind of slow it down a little bit. I think people would be then happier with that. That's my take on that. Okay, so the price increase. Now, I'm not going to complain about the price increase as long as it's not stupid enough, like £30 for a figure, because that's when it would get too expensive for me. But I wouldn't mind paying a higher price if the figures were all fine. So far, we've had so many mistakes. It just makes me think, why should I pay more for your sloppy mistakes? At the end of the day, if I want the proper details. It took me a while to think of that word, but I want the proper details. I want the Ranger to look like the show and not just half-assed, which we've seen previously over time. So for me to have this, I just feel like, why would you do this? Make sure that they come out properly. If I'm gonna be paying a ton of money for this, to me, it's just stupid. So I feel like in the end, just if you're gonna increase the price, quality check these figures, and if they look bad, don't release them. I don't want to be paying a lot of money for a figure that I hate and be like, well, because I'm a collector, I'm having to do this if I'm on a tight budget, because I would literally stop collecting if the mistakes were coming out all the time. And again, I know companies do make mistakes at times. That is the main thing. But with Hasbro right now, it feels like it's exactly the same thing all the time. Mainly the thing, this isn't really about stuff with the Lightning Collection, but I have mentioned it before, is that when people say, like, you know, I don't know why I put it in this one, but it's like when people turn around and say, oh, you're only spending $20 or £20 on a figure, get over it, it's mistakes, you know, live and learn. And I feel like when those sorts of people say it, they haven't really kind of thought of themselves. Like, if it was in their boat, if they did it, like, You know, if they bought like a season ticket to a football game or a sports game, and it's like, oh, I've got really bad seats, and they'd be like, well, just get over it because you've paid that much money. And it's like, yeah, but I really want a good seat. No, just get over it. You've just paid. But it's that sort of mentality that really fucking irritates me. And I feel like it shouldn't be a thing. At the end of the day, I'm spending money with Hasbro. I'm buying a product that I really enjoy and that I want to collect. So if I want to complain that the paint's completely different, oh, look at this Red Ranger, it's the green, but it's green. Don't complain, just be happy with what you got. But no, this is the Red Ranger, it's just been painted green. Well, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't make it better. If Hasbro are fucked up, they fucked up. And if they literally go, yeah, our bad, fair dues, and they stop it later. But I'm going to spend my money. If it's not right, I'm going to complain. So I think people like, if you don't like it, don't buy it. I want to buy it. Fucking hell, could easily go and make an entire video on that and just be ranting and saying the same thing. But yeah, I do feel like Hasbro needs to sort all this out, because otherwise people are going to stop buying. And that's a bad thing, because you don't want that to happen. You want all of this to kind of go through normally and be fine. Like, you want to buy these products, you want to buy everything going through it, rather than just not. So if Hasbro don't sort this out properly and fix it in the next few lines, or pay attention to the detail, then I can see people just stopping. And the main thing is, no matter how many videos, no matter how many tweets, no matter whatever, it's not going to affect. But if everyone stopped buying, that shows them you use the power of your wallet, and they won't make it anymore. And that would be bad, because this is the best Power Rangers line that's ever come out that I've actually really wanted to spend my money on. So yeah, that's it. That or Figma. It'd be that or Figma. Figma are just expensive. It's like one figure is like the same cost as an entire line. But yeah, like as I said, I want this to continue. I'm not bashing on them. I just kind of want them to take everything into consideration rather than be the shittiest thing ever. But yeah, I kind of like it. Like, I want the line to continue. I'm going to be getting more, but I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What concerns do you have of the Lightning collection? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to hear and see more, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and check out the merch. Thank you very much for watching. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you in a couple of days.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。